Hey, what's up out there? It's Jason here. I wanted to bring something different today. Usually I have tutorials on game development. The last one I did was a big giant tutorial step by step. But today I wanted to share something that's a little bit time sensitive and just kind of got me excited. And that was these two really crazy art deals, or art and asset store deals, that popped up, and they've got a couple days, maybe like a week and a half left on them. I wanted to share them so you can take advantage of them. I already did, and I just wanted to go through what they were like, what was in them, and why I thought they were kind of cool. This is definitely not a paid ad or anything like that. Nobody's given me anything for it. I don't want anything for it. These are just things that I think are cool and thought that, hey, they were a really good deal, so I should share. I'm kind of an asset store addict. I like to buy a lot of things on there. I have a ton of art, a ton of other things. Sometimes I'll just buy stuff that I think like, hey, maybe I'll use that in the future. Maybe I'll use that for an idea, or sometimes it'll just spark ideas. And really, these deals just kind of sparked a bunch more ideas. But if you have ideas too, you think of something that you think I should build off of one of these, let me know, drop a comment down below. And if you grab them and try to build something, or you do something cool with them, let me know too. I'd love to see what you do with them, how you use them, and how you take advantage of them. Some of these I've actually already used though, so I'm kind of excited to get started. So let's get going. What are the two bundles? The first one here comes from Unity themselves. It's actually on the Asset Store, and it's their Asset Store X Mega Bundles. So celebrating 10 years of awesome. But it's really just, I call it one bundle. You can get different levels of the bundle, but you can get all the way up to the $35 one and you get everything. This looks like it's packed with a bunch of really cool stuff. I really like these low poly guys. I've used them a bunch. These trees I've never seen, but they look kind of cool. And these fantasy horde dudes, I actually have them and they look pretty awesome. I used them as a placeholder in a game before. I'm going to grab some of these and pull them in though, so you can see what they look like in the editor too. Let's go down a little bit further though, because there's this top-down assets that I think I paid $60 for the whole thing when it came out. I don't remember, but all this manufacturer K4 stuff is really high quality. Not usually great for mobile unless you get the mobile version, because it's really high detailed and high quality stuff, but it makes amazing art. So really, really cool stuff. I don't know what this pool manager is, but could be kind of cool. Sounds interesting. Frozen UI pack, kind of cool. And hey, look, tower defense game. So if you want to build a tower defense game, looks like $25 to get that plus all the other stuff. Let's go down a little bit further though, because these were some of the ones that I thought were really cool. Especially Eddie's vehicle physics. I used this actually in a interview. So I had an interview question, or like an interview project, where it was to use this specific package, and I think they paid for a license or gave me a license or something. Actually, I might have already had it. And the project was to build a game where you're racing some cars, and the cars use this physics system to control them and race around a track. So you're racing other players. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun. Spent like a day working on it. Ended up not going there because some other stuff. There's a lot of other things going on, not related to that company. But it was a really cool company, and it was a really cool test. And it was just a really cool system, because you just set up the acceleration, the braking, the steering, and it kind of does it for you. Does the driving. You see the tire tracks, get the sound effects, and all of the other cool stuff for driving a vehicle, where you're really just giving it like almost like human level inputs. So I thought that was a really cool one. Also, Vectrosity. I use this quite a bit for here it shows a lot of line rendering stuff. I've used it for debugging. I mean, really it is. It's a line rendering vector-based line tool. So it's really cool for rendering different types of visual effects, but I use it a lot for UI elements and interactive GUI stuff, or interactive dotted lines throughout a 3D world, things like that. It's really cool for doing a lot of different stuff. I'd check it out. What else is in here? I don't know. A simple sequel? I don't know what that is. Seems kind of cool. Roads. This one I haven't used myself, but I've seen other people use. Easy Roads, and it's for building out cool 3D roads. And it looks like some racing stuff, some audio stuff, and other things. I don't want to just blab about all the things in here, but there's a lot of stuff in here for $35. I mean, that's a deal. I grabbed the pack, even though I already have about a third of the things in here, because I think it was just great. We'll go through some of these in a minute. First, I want to jump over to the other bundle that I thought was amazing, which was the Ultimate Fantasy Game Development Bundle. And this one is just art. It's art. And it's a lot of art that I've both wanted and some of that I've bought. So there are things in here that have been around for a while that I used to see and think like, man, I really wish I could buy that, like the dragon pack right there. You can see him right there. I have it now. I bought it a long time ago, but it took me, years before I was like, oh man, I finally got it, because it's just tons of different dragons, cool visuals. You can change them out, and like when you look at this pack, I'll show you in a minute, you can actually modify a lot of the things, and there's a ton of customization. But there's just a ridiculous number of really cool HD monsters and just creatures and items and stuff in here. There's plant monsters. The mushrooms, I actually saw, we used these in Pantheon for a little while. I don't know if they're still in there, but we used them as a base object, I think, for a placeholder thing to see what it would look like and build out some creatures. I think we built some custom stuff after that, but these were a really cool one. The rock monsters, obviously kind of neat. You make different kinds, grass, like purple. I'm not sure what purple is, but rock, and I assume you can do all different colors. I think there's a magma one in there too. Minotaur's the chests one. I thought this was really cool. So if you look at this, let's just pop it up and look at it. You play the chests. Hopefully YouTube doesn't demonetize me, but you can see you get a bunch of different cool chests. I was thinking like these would be a really neat thing to be like a trap. Like you pop it up and then it attacks you. I mean, that's kind of what they are, mimics and chests pack. Kind of seems like that. So that was a neat one. Medusa lockpicking. Oh, that actually kind of inspires me. Maybe I make like a interesting, weird little lockpicking game with this pack or something. I don't know, kind of cool. Anyway, let's get to the really cool things. The dragons pack is just nuts. The armor pack and stuff is cool. But the dragon, let's just pull it up. I got to show you this thing because this thing is pretty freaking crazy. Oh, it looks tiny. Let's see if I can make it bigger. Bam, you can see it there. It's a big giant dragon in pretty good quality HD. These things are really customizable. We'll get into them in Unity though and see what they look like. So there's some devils, some demons, and some magic and some trolls. Lots of stuff. $25 for the whole thing. Kind of a crazy deal. So I got them both. Let's take a look at what they look like in the editor. All right, here we are in Unity. I want to just import one of these to show what that process is like for anybody who's not sure. It has changed recently. So we'll go to Window and then go to Package Manager. There's an asset store window there. It actually just brings up the web page. And then when you go to Package Manager, this is where you can find all of your assets from the asset store, or all of the things that you've grabbed. If you grab that Humble Bundle pack, it's going to give you a bunch of asset store codes, and you can just redeem them. The Unity pack will just put everything right into your Package Manager right here. So you need to select My Assets. By default, it's on In Project. Go pick My Assets, and then I'd pick the purchase date. Choose the newest one. It's probably sorted by name by default. So you want to grab the most recent things that you've got. So here you can see I've got this audio sound, easy roads, procedural. I'm going to grab that Eddie's vehicle physics because I told you that one was really cool and I liked it. So to download it, I can just click on it and go over here and hit the download button and let it save it off. It'll save it off into a spot that gets reused so I can use it in multiple projects. And then I'll hit the import button. This should bring in the entire package. Actually, it brings up the import window, and then I can hit import, and it'll bring in the entire package. It's also worth noting that right now I'm only showing 12 of my packages, and I just need to hit the load next button to see newer things. As you can see on this account, I got 656 packages. Like I said, a little bit of an asset store addict. I got a lot of stuff, and I just really like these things. Also, I always like to check out those Humble Bundles because lots of things pop up on them. You can get great deals and sometimes get a lot of really cool stuff. But if I hit just 25, you'll see that I can get all the rest of them, and I can start to see some of these art packs. Some of them I've already pulled into the package, though, so I don't want to just go grab them again. So actually, let's grab the dragons one, though, because this one's really neat. I want to make sure that we've got that in there, too. So I'll let it download, I'll let it import, and then we'll go back into the project. All right, before I start racing cars around, I want to try out that dragon. So I'm going to go into the Infinity PBR section, and I'm going to go to Demo Scenes. And here I've got the devils and dragons imported. I'm just going to go right to the dragons. Let's pull it up and go to the game view. Make sure that we're set to maximize. Hit play and see what it looks like. Oh, look, it says I've got a missing environment. So I actually noticed this before and I went and grabbed it. I just wanted to show you that by default, you might see this. If you do, you can always go grab the environment pack like I did and it'll look like this. Now, I think this looks quite a bit cooler, but you probably already have your own environment, so you probably don't need this. But if you wanted something cool or just needed to demo it, I think it's a really cool looking environment. So let's take a look at some of the options here. First, I want to see that we can change out his color. We can make him all kinds of different colors. And we can scroll down here, maybe make him a red dragon. Swap out some parts, like his tail's coming around. Let's give him a different tail. Okay, we got two different tails. We've got options for the spikes. We'll switch to the other tail and try out some different spike options here and some fin options. Select them. There we go. Scroll down. You can see I've got quite a few different choices. There were some saddle ones and even different heads on here. And then I could, of course, mix and match the colors and things. But check this out. This is even cooler. I can hit the random button and just kind of randomize and get a big variety of things. Or I can hit that super random and start to get all kinds of different dragons that are different shapes, sizes, and parts. Not changing the color. I think that's the only thing it's not swapping, but it's changing everything else. So I can actually see that the body parts are changing too. Look at how the body is going in and out, or the legs, and or the body just kind of widens and gets smaller, bigger, longer. You can see there's just a lot of adjustment here. And it also has some cool animations like a breathing fire and some attacks it looks like. That's an interesting attack, a tail whip, all kinds of cool stuff in here. And I think from what I remember, all of the assets or almost all of the art assets in this Humble Bundle pack supported things like this. They all came with a bunch of animations. They supported mesh morphing and generally had a ton of options on them. That's why they look so cool. So if you're interested in just a lot of HD art, I definitely check it out. And I'm going to remember to go write a review after this. I keep forgetting about it. I'm going to do it for sure after I finish this video up. So let's finish up and let's go take a look at some of the Unity assets real quick from that Unity bundle, or at least the one that I think is the coolest, which is the Eddy vehicle physics. So here I've got EVP folder, or this EVP folder that I've imported. I'm going to go into scenes, and there are 3 different scenes. Let's go to list view. There's a single, a drift, and a multiple vehicle. For simple scene, drift, and multiple vehicles. I'm going to go into multiple vehicles because I think that that's probably going to be the most fun. Go to this sport coupe, hit F, and just take a look. What do we have over here? We got a couple vehicles set up, and if I go to my game view and just hit play, I assume I'm going to be able to drive these vehicles around. Yep, let's check it out. I've got this car here, and I can use WASD, start driving around and just kind of going flying. And if I was recording audio, I could uncheck. You might be able to hear that, uncheck it, but I've got really cool audio and sound effects too. There's also a handbrake for doing some cool drifting and sliding around. But you can see it's got just really cool looking vehicle physics, and it's got the effects and get the little tire tracks there. And like I said before, I actually turned this into a quick little project for an assignment once that I thought was a lot of fun, controlling AI cars by giving them destinations and having them steer towards their destination. Like, hey, do I need to go left, right? I thought it was a really fun project, and this is just a really cool little pack that's got a lot of functionality in it. Before I stop, though, I want to just jump over here and look at some of the options, because you seeing me drive around is cool and all, but seeing all of the stuff on here, all of the different car-related features that nobody probably understands, well, at least 1 or 2 of you probably know what a lot of these things mean, but most of us don't know exactly what these mean. So it's just a bunch of variables to be adjusting and sliding up and down to see how it adjusts the handling and how it controls the thing. But we don't have to figure it all out. We don't have to figure out the physics. We have to do all of the cool visuals and stuff. It's already there. So I really like this pack along with all of the other stuff. And there's so much really cool stuff. So if you're interested in just saving a bunch of money and getting some cool stuff, I'd go grab these while they're available. I already did. I mean, like I said, though, I'm kind of an addict. I love clickdeals.net is like my favorite webpage. I just go there constantly looking for anything that's a really crazy deal. Best one I ever got was like my 30,000 straws for $7. Great deal, but I'll never run out of straws. I ended up just giving away a lot of straws, but I still have enough for a lifetime. Anyway, I really like these deals. If you're interested in this kind of stuff or just other non-technical stuff or not just showing code, although I really love showing code, let me know. I'll just be doing those in addition, not replacing anything. I'll keep doing plenty of code tutorials and stuff. But if you want to see more stuff like this in addition to it, make sure you hit thumbs up, subscribe, share, and all that stuff, and just drop a comment. Let me know. Also, special thanks to everybody on Patreon and everybody who's already subscribed and already hit the like button. Really appreciate it. All right, thanks everybody. Goodbye.